Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine Bright, and the approach I chose was entitled the multiple oppositions approach. So prior to beginning identifying the research articles, I will first define what multiple oppositions approach is. It is a contrastive phonological intervention approach for treating moderate and severe children. So the first research article I found was entitled The Evaluation of Parent and Speech Language Pathologists Delivered Multiple Opposition Intervention for Children with Phonological Impairment, and it is a multiple baseline study. So the purpose of this article, basically the researchers identified the multiple oppositions approach and how often it should be delivered. Researchers have came to the conclusion that the oppositions approach should be delivered at least 3 times a week. Authors also investigated the efficacy of parent delivery multiple opposition intervention for children with the phonological impairment. So authors are hoping to find if a combination of parent and speech language pathology service delivery was more effective. So the participants in the study consisted of 5 children with a moderate to severe phonological impairment, and at least one of their parents also participated in the study. The participants' receptive vocabulary was measured using an assessment entitled the Peabody Picture Vocabulary Test, and it was the 4th edition. Their speech was also assessed using things such as connected speech samples and stimulability assessments. So the outcome, all participants received clinic and home-based sessions. And also all 5 children displayed an immediate increase in accuracy of some targets in treatment words upon intervention. 3 of the 5 children demonstrated a large effect size for generalization to non-treatment words. So the findings indicated that parents can be trained to deliver phonological intervention competently and confidentially. So I found this article to be very interesting because I wasn't aware that parents can deliver the multiple oppositions model. So let's go to the next article. Okay. So the next article is entitled The Treatment Efficacy of Multiple Opposition Phonological Approach via Telepractice for 2 Children with Severe Phonological Disorders in Rural Areas of Texas in the U.S. So for this article, the purpose of the article was initially to examine the effects on the multiple opposition approach on improving phoneme accuracy in children with severe phonological disorders. And the researchers also wanted to explore if the multiple opposition approach is practical for telepractice, since telepractice is now very worldwide. So initially the participants consisted of 3 children, and due to internet difficulties, it was decreased to only 2 children. So the first child was 4 years old and the second child was 6. So I found it interesting that both children's connected speech was overall highly unintelligible. Both children were given 2 assessments. The first assessment was the Clinical Evaluation of Language Fundamental Preschool, the 2nd edition, and they were also given the Goldman-Fristow Test of Articulation. Researchers identified that prior to beginning intervention, primary caregivers received intensive training in a face-to-face session on how to actually utilize the telepractice so they'll know what to do. So the program that they used was entitled PresenceLearning.com. This program was useful to generate sets of contrastive word pairs for each group of target sounds. So findings indicated that multiple oppositions can be an effective treatment for children with severe phonological disorders. So I found it very interesting that prior to the test, both children's phonemic inventory was actually very low for their ages, but during the post-test, both children's phonemic inventory at word initial position was then expanded. So both children demonstrated multiple phoneme errors, but after receiving intervention using the multiple oppositions approach, both children displayed great improvement. So I was surprised to see the improvement that both students displayed, and that is all, and thank you for listening.